Hi everyone, welcome to the beer garden again. Yes, after the 2 month summer break, finally we welcome the season opener on the September 11th at Charene Racecourse. This is the third season that we have the beer garden preview show, and I'm happy this year we have Joshua along with Steve and Joe. Joshua, I know you love Hong Kong racing. So what do you expect the new Hong Kong racing season?
What do I expect? I'm expecting Zach Purton to go back to back this year. That's what I'm expecting. That's my sort of my bold prediction for the year. Outside of, I'm really expecting Lyle Hewitson to have last year was sort of a breakout year for Lyle. I think he can
Yes.
crack the 50 winners this year. I think
Oh.
that's the expectation. He rode 27 winners last year, and he didn't have a full season. I think full season under his belt this year, 50 winners. That's what I'm expecting out of Lyle Hewitson.
Yes, I believe that Lau Hewison is now settling in Hong Kong quite well, just enjoying the summer holiday. Now, I believe that he's now fit in love and ready for the new season. And
Mm.
Joe, do you have any targets in the new season? Will I see you in Hong Kong soon?
Yeah, I mean, I plan on trying to go there in December because I do want to see the
Mm.
HKIR, but the only thing is that I don't want to have to waste 3 days of quarantine
Yeah,
not being
right.
able to do
Mm.
anything. So I
Yeah.
might change my mind to go to Australia instead. But no, the season's gonna look really good. I think we have a lot of races, a lot of big fields. I'm always looking forward to the HKIR races, obviously, and I think all these group races, especially towards December, it's going to be really good. Like love seeing all the internationals. Hopefully, we have an American representative go over there, like we had
Mm.
Victor Espinosa there at one point. So hopefully, somebody from America goes over there. But yeah, I mean, just seeing Love's Only You last year
Mm.
was really impressive, and she just won everywhere she went. So, thinking that another worldwide superstar should end up going over there and trying their luck at Hong Kong. So, I'm looking forward
Mm.
to mainly December.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure it is a great season ahead. And Steve, how about you? What are you looking forward to in the new season?
As Joshua was saying, it's obviously Zach Purton a great chance of winning again, but I think it's also you're looking at a changing of the guard coming soon. The great jockeys as they are, you won't see Moreira and Purton forever, and you get the new jockeys emerging, the Lyle Hewitsons and the Jerry Chow and the Karis Teat and Alexis Badell, great jockeys who one day will set their seal and become champion jockeys themselves. So yes, I'm
Mm.
looking forward to all the races. I love sprints. I love the whole aspect of Hong Kong, and of course the Holy Grail. It'd be nice to get 10 winners on Saturday and 9 winners in Happy Valley. I mean, the chance he probably 99 if I still not get there, but
Yeah.
it's always a nice dream to have, isn't it? So sometimes we get several winners. It'd be nice to go through the whole card. It's always a dream.
Yes, that's right. And I believe that I'm quite confident on the race card on the opener. Hopefully, we can bring you some winner. And in this Hong Kong racing season, we will have the new apprentice jockey Angus Chung making debuts on the season opener. He will belong to the Tony Cruz stable. This apprentice jockey had some great results at South Australia, and hopefully he can settle well in Hong Kong. So on the season opener at Sha Tin, there will be 10 races held over the A course like last season. And the feature race will be race 4. It is also the first leg of the triple trio. Race 4, it is the class 1 over 1200 meters, the Chief Executive Cup. Joshua, let me ask you first, who is your selection in race 4?
Yeah, I don't mind number 9, Lucky Swainess. D'Souza's riding. Look, I know it's a step up into the class 1. He has had the 5 starts with 5 wins and 2 placings over the 7 starts, but he ended on a high last before the season ended with that 1.3 win in that class 2 in July. Look, I know up to class 1 is tough, but he's a progressive type, and although Purton can't ride at 52, D'Souza isn't a bad replacement, just quietly. So he's had one nice trial. He's drawn well. He maps to stalk a hot speed, and I think he's going to be really strong late. And he's the one I want to be with.
Yes, the champion Griffin last season, Lucky Swing, is number 9 in race 4. He will be ridden by Sylvestre de Souza. Breaking from gate 6, I believe he is having a great chance here. Joe, how about you? Any sprinter do you fancy here?
I'm going for a sentimental pick, and that is Skyfield. I've always loved him ever
Yeah.
since Yeah, he's you can't miss him. He has a big white blaze on his face. But the thing is that he's not with Blake Shin anymore. Blake Shin left to go to Australia, so now Kyrus Teton's the one that's going to be riding him. But I mean, I think the class. The thing is that I think that the 61 kilos plus the barrier 10 is kind of a concern for me. But he does run on well at the end. Group 1 winner. I mean, all these horses have had some group experience or won group races. But I do think the class will prevail in this race. I'm hoping. But I mean, no knock on any of the other horses as well. We do have a lot of progressive types coming up to Class 1. But as a sentimental pick, I just want to see Skyfield. If he doesn't win any other race, I just want to see him win this one race.
Yeah, I know that Skyfield is one of your favorite Hong Kong horses. Yeah, recently, yes, this time he needs to overcome the wide draw and the top weight. But of course, we know that being a Group 1 winner, he is definitely classy enough. And how about you, Steve? Who do you like in race 4?
I take a bit of a flyer with Trillion when he's such a nice horse, 6-year-old. He was put in his place by Lucky Sweynesse last time, but he's got a nice turnaround at the weights. He comes from Gate 1. Alexis Bedell knows him very well. Really consistent type, 3 times course and distance winner. And the last 4 barriers, he's had 13, 11 and 12. So this time he's got the plum draw. And, as Joe says, the class element there, Skyfield. And, of course, Lucky Patch second last year, Duke Y third, winning Dreamer 4. So they've got class on their side. But maybe the beginning of the season, I always think at the beginning and at the end, you get results that you suddenly look and think, how did that happen? And, if you're going to catch the likes of Lucky Sweynesse and Campione and maybe a Skyfield cold, then maybe this is the time that Trillion Win can convert some good places into a victory.
Yes, Trillion Win and other horse representing the Manfred Mann stable apart from Lucky Sweynesse. Both these 2 horses will carry a bottom weight, so never underestimate them. And my selection will be number 2, Lucky Patch, representing the new trainer Pierre Ng, and then he will be ridden by Angus Jones. Like I just said before, Angus Jones will make his debut on Sunday, and on the opener he got 6 rides. I believe most of them are having quite a good chance because the 10 pounds claim is quite important for the horses. Lucky Patch is now 6-year-old, not really young in this field, but we know that he's one of the top class sprinters in Hong Kong. He didn't run well in the recent barrier trial last week, but luckily we see that he just had a sharp gallop on Thursday. So I believe this time Lucky Patch is now ready for the new season. He's now fit enough. He did suffer from some setback last season in December, but we see him bounce back a little bit at the end of last season. And this time ridden by Angus Jones, taking out 10 pounds is very important. So hopefully Lucky Patch can have some good performance. So to recap, race 4, Class 1 over 1200 meters. Joshua selects number 9, Lucky Sweynesse, and Joe goes for his favorite horse, number 1, Skyfield. And Steve has a value bet here, number 10, Trillion Win, and I will go for number 2, Lucky Patch. And let us move on to the second leg of the triple trio. That will be race 5. Race 5, it is a Class 4 race over the strict course, 1,000 meters. Joshua, who do you like in this race?
It being the first meeting of the season, I'm taking a little bit of a risk here with number 5, Lucky Banner, ridden by Alexis Bedell. Had the 3 Griffin races last preparation, making his debut in the Class 4 today. Tomorrow, I should say. He's run 2 seconds, both half a length behind. His best run was up the straight, which is what he's going to face tomorrow. Beneficial to have that run up the straight, as we've seen even here in Australia, up the Flemington Straight. If you've got that experience in straight racing, it's been very beneficial. He's had no public trials, which is a slight query, but I reckon he can run well, and he can be a surprise in this race.
Yes, right. Lucky Banner breaking from gate 13, which is a wide draw. It is good over the strict course. And this time he will be ridden by Alexis Bedell. Now he's quite mature, the horse. I'm quite looking forward to him as well. And Joe, do you looking for some outsider here?
Yeah, I'm also an outsider. I went with Kowloon East Star. So if you go back a little bit on his form and his collateral form line, you do see that he's raced against Cordyceps 6, who was a really great horse last season, and Nervous Witness, who was all the rage last season as well. Also up the straight. He didn't do well at Happy Valley because he drew pretty wide. So I think with his style, he's on the speed. So I think if he gets loose on the speed, that I think he has a really good chance if nobody could try, he's probably try to play catch me if he can. You do get Luke Ferraris. Charene, is Bruin Maya still there, or did he leave?
Yes, but he's suspended on the opener.
Okay, because he's mainly been riding him.
Yes.
And he was a sixth against Sparkling Dolphin, but I think that if he does have a win, so I do think that first up has a win, has the draw. I think he'll run a really bold race in this. Well, I think in this highly competitive class 4, because it does look really tricky to me. But I think a lot of things go for him in this race because of all the things that I just mentioned. So Kuala Star, I mean, he's been around at big prices before. He did get a third against Cordyceps 6 at 100-1. So I think he could run a really bold race. So number 10, Kuala Star for me.
Yes, I believe that Charene Easter will have a quite good value. Breaking from gate 14 is also a great draw for him. Yes, right. He sometimes he will surprise us because he is quite a type of fast horse, and being fast is very important over the straight course. And Steve, who do you like? Who do you like in race 5?
Well, I agree with Joshua. I went for Lucky Banner. I think he's a nice horse. Three runs, 5th and 2 seconds, but unlucky not to get off the mark last season. And again, he's drawn near the outside rail, just next to Joe's pick, Colony Star. So gate 13 is not a bad place to be. Has plenty of speed as well. And, you know, famous last words, but it looks like there's quite a few horses you could really discount in this, I think. And the likes of Cheval Valiant, an interesting horse that deservedly got off the mark on his final run last season. But gate 4 is a bit tricky. He's out in the middle of the track, which possibly isn't ideal. Sparkling Dolphin in gate 8, but he's a bit in and out. Wins, but three duck eggs in between his victories. So, but yeah, I think Lucky Banner has a good chance, I think, on his 4th run. Just noticed I've got Alexis Bedell on all 3, 4, 5 races, 4, 5, and 6. So hopefully he can have a good mid stretch on the meeting. Amazing Rocky, interesting horse, isn't it? Zach Purton. He's got quite a poor win record. Amazing Rocky, 1 win from 16. Zach was on board, but never really convinced with Amazing Rocky. He hit the crossbar recently, 3rd, 2nd, and then nowhere on his final start. But he's next. We're all drawn high, actually. 12, Amazing Rocky, interesting horse. Number 13, and Lucky Banner, and 14, Tight on the Rail, Joe's selection. But yeah, I think Lucky Banner's a good chance.
Yeah, so 2 votes for Lucky Banner. Both Joshua and Steve agrees for number 5, Lucky Banner. And I agree that in race 5, it is quite wide open because there are lots of fast horses here. And I will go for number 4, Cheval Valiant. Yes, I agree with Steve that gate 4 is a bit tricky for him because there are lots of horse with good gate speed breaking from the wide draw. And but this time, this horse turned 4-year-old in this season, and it is good to see him gaining 20 pounds. He is now looking stronger and stronger. Just come back to Hong Kong from Chung Fa, and on the recent Farewell Trial at Chung Fa, Cheval Valiant jumped really well, and I loved his gate speed. And this year, we see that Lau Hewison continues to get some support from Douglas White, and I believe Cheval Valiant, being the last time course and distance winner, can also have some good performance in race 5. So to recap, Joshua and Steve goes for number 5, Lucky Banner in race 5, and Joe has the value bet here. Number 10, Kowloon Easter, and my selection will be number 4, Cheval Valiant. So let's go to the last leg of the triple trio. It will be race 6, another class 4, but it is over 1,200 meters. Joshua, who do you like in race 6?
I like number 6, Starry Night, with Zach Purton aboard. Forget last start at Happy Valley, wet track, and the horse ended up having a fever. So they discovered after the race. So he's had 2 trials on the way in, should be fighting fit for this. The second trial, they took the cheek pieces off and put the blinkers on, which is perfect. And the blinkers go on here on race day. He's drawn well. Obviously, Zach Purton's going to give him a peach of a ride. And he maps ideally to sit in that first 2 or 3. And I think he's really, really going to be hard to beat here.
Yes, I agree. Starry Night, trained by David Hayes, this trainer also have some great results in the last 2 seasons, especially on the season opener. So Starry Night breaking from gate 4 is very ideal for him. Joe, who do you like in race 6?
I like number 4, Amazing Victory. I mean, yeah, I think that Zach Purton's mount's going to be Starry Night's going to be really tough to beat. I think for a place chance, you could go with Amazing Victory, who has been pretty consistent in his last couple starts. I mean, it hasn't gone below a 7th in his last, and he hasn't broke his maiden yet, so that's another concern. But he's drawn number 1, so that's good for him. Also won its trial last time out. Back in August, so I think he's going to be fit to run this race. I mean, it's a really tricky class 4. I think that if Starry Night doesn't win, then I think anything else could win. But I think Starry Night is definitely the horse to beat. But I think for a place chance, you could get Amazing Victory. I don't know what you'd get. You probably get maybe 2 to or 1 even money or 2 to 1. But Karasteen's been on him, and he's still run well even when he's had bad draws at Shatin. So I'm gonna go with Amazing Victory, hopefully to break maiden, but if not, to get a place chance.
Yes, I agree. Amazing Victory. Finally, a good draw for him last year at last season at Shatin. He always break from a wide draw. So this time the gate 1 will be very helpful. Steve, who do you like in race 6?
Yeah, I went for number 5, Beauty Tycoon. I think he can be counted unlucky not to have won by now. Mugged on the line by Phoenix Light on the second start. He's run well in defeat since. Bedell keeps the ride for his seasonal return. And he's well drawn too. And I think the penultimate run he had, he was kind of unsuited by the yielding to soft ground. He was drawn he was on near the rail. I think the winner, if I remember rightly, came up on the near side. So he was a bit unfortunate there. But yeah, I like Beauty Tycoon. I think it's a trappy race, actually. I think Starry Night's got a chance, but I think it's interesting. I think Science Patch has a chance. And Adifel probably needs more time, but I thought an interesting horse. He won his latest trial, and he was 5th over the straight 1,000 at Chatin on his debut. And then he was 8th last time on rain softened ground. Was denied a bit of room in the final 200 metres when it didn't really matter, but he wasn't far off the lead. Probably needs a bit more time, as I say, gate 11, but I'd feel interesting for the future. But yeah, hopefully Beauty Tycoon at the 6th attempt.
Yes, hopefully. I also quite looking forward to number 5, Beauty Tycoon, and he's gonna be my best bet on Sunday. Last season, we saw that he was so green, but everyone keep their eyes on this talented John Size trained gelding. He's now 4-year-old now. I saw that on the recent gallop, he's now being more and more mature. This time also, just like Steve mentioned, Gaze 2 is quite ideal for him, and Alexis Bedell keeps riding. I believe that at the beginning, he can stay in the great position. Maybe just getting the rail and behind the leader, that will be a perfect position for him. And hopefully, I hope to see him racing well or at 4-year-old in this season. He's now more mature and not that green, just like last season. So to recap, race 6, Joshua goes for number 6, Starry Night, and Joe goes for number 4, Amazing Victory. Steve and myself also like number 5, Beauty Tycoon, and he will also be my best bet on Sunday. So after talking about the 3 legs of the triple trio, let us move to our favorite part of the show. That will be our best bet. Joshua, who will be your best bet?
It's really hard here in Australia because our prices don't come out till race day morning. So it'll be interesting to see how these prices come out. But I like race 3, number 6, Sun Pak Fu, ridden by Jerry Chow. He has the 1 kilo claim. He had 1 start in July, was drawn poorly, raced accordingly, settled in the second half of the field, late in the straight. It was difficult to ride out. It's one of those ones where you just got to ignore as hard as it is because of that draw. It just didn't settle at all. And he's had 1 trial on the way in for this season. The sheepskin cheek piece has come off, blinkers on, like with Starry Night. And it led all the way under a nice hold in his trial. I really, really was impressed with the trial. I think it's going to be a trial that produces some winners. And he's drawn beautifully in a weak class 4. There's barely any speed, and I expect him to be in the finish here. I think he's one of the better bets on the card.
Yeah, so race 3, number 6, Sun Pak Fu will be Joshua's best bet. This 4-year-old side by Fighting Sun is quite lightly raced, and the recent Beverly trials show that he improved a lot with the new gear. So hopefully this time breaking from Gaze 2 with Jerry Chow on board, he is having a great chance. And Joe, who will be your best bet on Sunday?
Best bet goes in race number 10 over 1,400 meters. I went with Happy Daily with Sylvestre de Souza. Drawn 2, the last couple of starts, he's been there or thereabouts. I mean, hasn't only lost by a length and like 2 lengths, but he was still third and fourth against some pretty decent horses like HK Dragon, Indigenous Realm, E Legend, Win Fighter. Also raced against Lucky Sweezeness back in March, but didn't do as well. But drawn 11, so I think that's pretty much an excuse for that one. But I think he's had a lot of jockeys on him. So he had Karastine, Jerry Chow, Zach Purton, Karastine again. So now Sylvestre de Souza, I think this is going to be the one for him. He's going to finally get a horse or a jockey that is better suited for him, I think, with Sylvestre de Souza up. Obviously a really great horseman after we've interviewed him and his talk about his life in Europe and coming back to Hong Kong. So I'm going to be rooting for him. Number 14, Happy Daily. And I said rooting. I know that means something else in Australia, so don't mind that at all.
Yeah, Happy Daily number 14 in race 10, rated 60, and because he is also eligible for class 4, but I think it is a great decision for him to race in class 3 because of the lightweight and rides ridden by Sylvestre de Souza. I believe he's going to have a great season in Hong Kong. And Steve, who will be your best bet?
I went to the penultimate race on the day, race number 9, and that is Sylvestre. He's a really nice horse, number 5, ridden by Zach Purton. He's an easy horse to predict. He just turns up at Charene, runs over 1400, and Zach Purton rides him. So it's quite a simple sort of horse. He's really genuine. He's 3 from 14. 6 the last in 2022 he was 2-1 3-3 4-1, so a nice consistent type. And this is his first crack at a class 2. He's actually withdrawn on his final run last season when he was withdrawn on veterinary advice. He had a fever, but he's shown his well-being recently, just last week in fact, beginning of this month, with a nice trial win. So I like Sylvestre. I think it's quite an open race, but I just think from gate 7 it doesn't really matter over this sort of trip. I think he's still, with only 14 runs under his belt, he's still on the improve. Three wins, and I think he can build on that. Even though he's £6 above his last winning mark, I still think there's room for improvement.
Yes, I agree. Sylvestre, number 5 in race 9, having a great preparation during the summer break, and this time first time up to class 2. But this is a lovely horse, very, very honest, always consistent, and always finishing close. It is good to see that Zach Purton will be on board again. And for my best bet, I just mentioned that it will be in race 6. I quite like number 5, Beauty Tycoon, and hopefully turning 4-year-old in this season, he will show a different one to us, because last season he was so green always on I believe that he also gained some enough experience, and after the summer break I hope that he is now more matured and ridden by Alexis Bedell. He knows the horse quite well, and hopefully he can have some great result. So to recap our best bet on Sunday, the season opener at Charene, race 3 number 6 Sunpack Fu for Joshua, and race 10 number 14 Happy Daily for Joe, race 9 number 5 Sylvestre for Steve, and for me race 6 number 5 Beauty Tycoon. And after talking about our best bet, who will be your value bets? Joshua, who will be your value bet?
Firstly, don't worry, Joe. We talk like degenerates over here in Australia, so you don't have to worry about that. My value bet is race 7, number 4, Super Fortune, ridden by Karastine. Now, I really think this will end up value because I think they'll come for Oriental Smoke. This bloke is consistency in a nutshell. Since February, he had 6 starts for 2 winners and 3 placings. And that one run that he missed out, he wasn't ridden by his regular rider, Karastine. So he matches up well stats-wise for running at Charene over the distance and on good tracks. He's had one good trial where he was really wound up. He won by half a length, which will be perfect for this. Drawn well, maps well. If there's any on-pace bias, he's going to come right into play in this race. So it'll be race 7, number 4, Super Fortune. I'm just hoping they come for Oriental Smoke, which will increase our price.
Yes, I also think that he may not be the favorite in race 7. Super Fortune, quite a course and distance specialist, and I really like his performance on the recent Barrier Trial. And Joe, can you remind us who will be your value bet?
Value bets at race 5 over the 1,000 meters straight. That is also number 10, Colony Star. Drawn well, wins first up or won first up, does have talent. We've seen it against Cordyceps 6 and also oh my god, I forgot the other one. Cordyceps 6 and Nervous Witness. That's the other one. But yeah, I think he does have a chance in this race, but it does look wide open, as Charene mentioned. But I think with all those things considered, I think he could run a bold race. Even if he doesn't win, I think he could get a placing if he's on the speed. He's one of those where if he's not, he'll either get swamped up if he's on the pace, or if he's by himself, I think he win. That's how he won his last race. So I'm gonna go with him again, Quality Star.
Yes, a good draw for Calvin Easter, and he is also a type of horse is very big inside, so he's very good for racing over the straight course. And Steve, can you tell us again who will be your value bet?
Yeah, I was quite tricky this time deciding what my value bet was going to be. I also like Lucky Archangel in race 7, which I put on my blog on my Twitter page anyway. But I think Trillion Win, he's a nice horse. He's nice and consistent. He's 6 years old. He gets in here off a nice low weight. Alexis Bedell knows him well. He's drawn in 1. And I just think at this time of year, when they're all coming back, maybe got their eyes on something later in the season as well, that Trillion Win has shown as well, being in a recent trial. Nice turnaround with the weights with Lucky Swain S. And he's got a nice position on the rails. If Campione and Lucky Swain S push on, then he can possibly just pick up the pieces at the end. And the likes of Skyfield, of course, drawn 10, not a great impediment you would think in a 10-runner field, but he's also got weight to carry as well, whereas well, it's £20 he's giving Trillion Win. So I like that. I like him. I think he's got a good chance.
Yes, race 4, number 10, Trillion Win, carrying a lightweight, and also I believe the gate 1 it will be very, very helpful for him. And for my value bet, it will be in race 9. I like number 4, Peking Victory. He was one of the rising stars last season, but unfortunately there were some setbacks for him. And I just checked that he scored 2 from 2 on the first up, and I believe this reliable man gelding will still be competitive this season as 5-year-old, because last Saturday he had a turf barrier trial over the straight course. He broke well but stayed at the back. He did show a great turn of foot in the last furlong, and this time I believe he is now fit enough. And this time he will be ridden by Harry Bensley, who partnered him for the barrier trial last Saturday. And hopefully breaking from gates 2 today, he can also find a great position. And I think that Peking Victory will have some great good value here. So he may be I may have a each way on him, and he will be my value bet. And to recap our value bet on Sunday, race 7, number 4, Super Fortune for Joshua, and race 5, number 10, Kowloon Easter for Joe, race 4, number 10, Trillion Win for Steve, and race 9, number 4, Peking Victory for myself. And that's all for our first show of the new season of the Beer Garden. I hope that we can find you some winners. All the best to you in the new season, and we will see you next time for the Happy Valley preview. See you next time. Goodbye.
Yeah.